Today I'm making homemade enchilada sauce for chicken enchiladas just the way my abuela would make them. This is going to be good. Let me show you how I do it. I'm starting with around 10 to 12 guajillo dried chilies, and I'm just going to remove the stem and the seeds. And then you'll want to give them a really good rinse, and then place them in a pot, fill it with water, and then you can boil these on the stovetop. Once you boil them, shut off the heat and then just let them steep until softened. But for today's recipe, I'm going to put everything together in the slow cooker. Because, you know, slow cooker summer, why not? It's hot where I'm at. So in a 6 to 8 quart slow cooker, 3 chicken breasts going in, and I'm going to just season with some chicken bouillon powder. Here I have some onion powder and some garlic, salt, pepper mix. I'm just going to add everything into the crock pot, and the dried chilies that I cleaned going right on top. Here I'm going to add 2 cups of water into the slow cooker, cover with the lid, and I am going to set this to high and slow cook for about 3.5 to 4 hours until everything is cooked through and softened. And I'm going to remove the lid, and you can see the chicken is cooked through, it's kind of falling apart, so there's that. And this is kind of how I'm doing things today. So I'm going to take the chicken out and put that into a bowl. When it does kind of get to room temperature or cools off, I will shred all of the chicken because that's what's going to go into these enchiladas. But the rest of the chilies go into a blender cup, and I'm also going to be using any liquid that was left in the crock pot to just make my enchilada sauce. Here I have a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. These were actually cumin seeds that I grounded up with some black peppercorn. Here I have 2 cloves of garlic going in. I'm also going to add just a pinch of salt. You can always salt and season throughout. And I'm going to add some of that broth that was left over in the crock pot. I'm going to start maybe with a cup of this broth, and if I need more, I will add more. I, in fact, did need to add some more liquid, and I'm just going to cover that up and continue to puree very well. And if you need to strain this, you can. My blender does a good job, so into a preheated pan. And I definitely need to turn this down because it is just painting my entire kitchen, but it does smell good. So I'm just going to let this gently simmer and just give that a stir. You'll want to taste for salt and seasoning at this point, and just let it gently simmer for about maybe 5-10 minutes. And then that's the enchilada sauce. You can use it for any type of enchiladas. My favorite are actually cheese, but today I am going to make chicken enchiladas because I had those 3 chicken breasts thawed and I was just trying to figure out something easy to do with the chicken. Okay, so let this simmer, taste it for salt seasoning. I'm going to clean up, and I want to show you. It literally splattered everywhere. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to pour this in a flat-bottomed bowl. This is actually a pasta bowl. It just makes it a lot more convenient to dip the tortillas. So these are cold. They are not warmed through. I mean, if you have some that you picked up from like your local grocery store that are warm and fresh, it works. Okay, so I'm gonna just pick up this residual sauce that was left in the pan because I'm gonna use the same pan. And now I'm going to add some cooking oil, let that preheat a little, and I'm going to dunk this cold corn tortilla. And then once it's kind of like coated, maybe not as much as I'm using, even a light coating works. Sometimes, honestly, if I wasn't filming, I would just add some of the sauce to the preheated cooking oil. But you know, I just wanted to dunk it because my grandma would do that. And you're going to fry this on each side. It's kind of like a light fry. You don't want this super high, so I'm going to turn it down. And then you flip it over, and then now you can fill it. My favorite, some of you may know this, is cheese, but I'm working with chicken today. My family requested chicken. I had it thawed, so here we are. Okay, so I'm going to pile on the chicken. If you want like a melty cheese in the mix, you can do that as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to carefully roll this up. You could also just flip it over like in half. I'm not going to say anything, but just for presentation purposes, I'm going to roll these up. And I like to use 2 of these little wooden spatulas and just use the edge of the pan and repeat the process. So while I'm doing this, I just wanted to mention, I have several ways that I make enchiladas. This would be closer to something that's more traditional or maybe authentic to actual Mexican food. My Mexican grandmother, this is kind of how she makes her enchiladas, or my abuelita, as I call her. And some of you might also know the other recipes that I use, more like an enchilada sauce gravy. That is another family favorite. But I like to just make enchiladas all sorts of ways. It just depends on what we feel like. But definitely this enchilada sauce, this red sauce, you could use it to make enchiladas when you are baking. It really is very simple to make, and it does not have flour in it, as opposed to like the gravy that I make for my Tex-Mex version of enchiladas. So there's that. For those of you that like something that's gluten-free, go with this sauce. It's really good. Other than cheese and onion, my abuelita would also fill with potato and ground beef, or like picadillo. Those were really good, and she'd use this method for those as well. It was really, really good. Some of my favorites. Okay, I'm going to top this with queso fresco. A lot of the toppings are really up to you. Here I have avocado, diced onion, pickled carrots and jalapeno, and I'm also going to be adding Mexican sour cream on top. Top how you like, that's what I always say. And if you want things saucier, you could definitely drizzle some more enchilada sauce. Again, it really is up to you. So this is going to be dinner, just a plate of homemade traditional chicken enchiladas, the way my grandmother would make them. Just so nostalgic, so good. And I love the fact that it's summer and I didn't have to bake. Okay, and now I'm ready to eat. These look amazing and I can't wait to dig in. Yeah, that definitely is a good bite. And then with the pickled carrots, that's all you need. Sometimes I like to garnish with fresh lettuce, tomato, even a homemade salsa. It all works. You can get creative with the filling, but like I stated earlier, my favorite are cheese and onion, but chicken, it's a pretty close second. I have literally a top 10 list of enchiladas, and this version is definitely on it. So I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.